Haha, sound. Okay, good, good. All right, I can take this off, turn that down. So directly before I was gonna jump on this live, I scratched my finger. I have a Band-Aid. So now I can do this and it like, you know. Well, if you see the name of the title of this stream, we are talking about paparazzi. That's why I have the crown on my head. In honor of Crack the Crown. We'll get into it. I just wanted an excuse to wear this because it's just really cool looking. And when am I going to get a chance to wear it? I'm not in New Orleans anymore, so sadly. Hey Tina, how you doing? Hey Shermare. Hey BJ, what's up? So, this is a special request. I had to dive eyeball first into research for this because I've never been in an MLM. Disclaimer, I've never been in an MLM. So I knew nothing about them. I knew that they were somewhere along the lines of being like a pyramid scheme. That's about it. Okay. So we always do the makeup portion at the beginning. Hey Teresa, yeah, I was researching, and I also have an actual like hardback journal so that I won't throw it like I did the paper journal, which I threw across the room and broke because frustration. Oh, it's been interesting. Okay, so the makeup portion, I'm wearing the Yes Please palette by ColourPop. You cannot see the glory that is the eyeshadow, and I am sorry. So I used Big Cocktails, which is kind of an orange color. Spoiled, which is kind of red, and I figured it was fitting. And a little bit of Chauffeur, which wasn't, it's a good color, it's just not quite poppy enough. So if I can get it open. And that, okay, so I went into the Baby Got Peach palette from ColourPop. And hold on, let me put that there. I used some of this shimmer right here. There. And that is called Get Even. It's kind of fitting. Kind of fitting because there's going to be a lot of that in what we're going to talk about. All right. And for my inner corner, I used Flower Child. This is a very reflective Super Shock. This stuff is gorgeous. Highly addictive. Highly addictive. All right, so those are the eyeshadows. I have way too much stuff on my desk. And I did use a little bit of, this is called Guilty Pleasure. It's a highlighter, but I used it like with my eyeshadow because I just like that stuff. And for lip, it's this red. Trust me. Love this. Put this stuff on. It's not going to come off. I have eaten. I have had coffee. You name it. Doesn't come off. Love that stuff. All right. So I'm going to suggest water. If you have smelly good stuff, could be a good idea too. Because we're going to talk about it. Can y'all hear me okay? I have a new rig, by the way. Like, everything is set up slightly different, so I'm actually testing everything right now also. And there's I have aliens growing out of my desk right now. Okay. So that's the makeup portion if anyone needs it. Oh, I feel like a professional with this journal here like this. Okay, so there's a lot to unpack. This might end up being a multi-part stream because there's a lot to it. Background, I'm an ex-sheriff's deputy, ex-victims advocate. This stream was requested. A friend of mine, their significant other, has gotten into this particular MLM and wanted my assessment of it. And it's kind of, it's serious. I can't go into too much detail, but it's bad enough that I went on a deep dive. I could probably write a college paper on this subject at this point. So hold on, I have to do this real quick before we even get started. We have to, I thought I had everything set up. In the description box, there are a bunch of links. And if you find this topic interesting, I highly recommend. First off, we have to talk about the bite model, the influence continuum. Those two things are pretty important. I don't know how many of you have ever actually talked about the bite model or the influence continuum, but they're pretty important to this group. As I've said before, any group of people can become toxic, right? So an individual person can be toxic, right? It can be a relationship, family, friendship, a coworker, anything like that. But it can also be a workplace or a group of people that can be toxic. Hey Kim, how you doing? What's up? All right, so the bite model, let me just... So my computer updated, and thankfully I had all of my links on a Word document because when it updated, it knocked all of my links off. So, fun times. Just makes me so happy. All right, so Dr. Stephen Hassan, I hope I'm pronouncing his last name right. He himself was in a cult, and when he came out of it, he went through and developed what is called the bite model. And I'm reading from that first link. It's like an article that talks about it. The bite model is a way of outlining the different methods of mind control that cults use to gain and retain control over people and their thoughts and lives, really. The method was first described in Dr. Stephen Hassan's book, Combating Cult Mind Control. That is a good book, by the way. He wrote this book after leaving the moon cult and being deprogrammed, as he calls it. Okay, so within the bite model, you have several different things. And see, I had another link up for this stream, and okay. Anywho, true, please do. I don't know what that means. Hand off time. I don't know what that means. All right. So you have an MLM. pyramid schemes are illegal now, right? So some companies have found a loophole, many loopholes, and what they do instead is called an MLM. And, oh, right, okay. Okay, so this is going to be a multi-part stream because I have a lot of notes. Like, it's... Okay, so, red flags. In this MLM, first off, let's just talk about what this is. They sell jewelry, but they sell like really cheap costume jewelry that you can find anywhere on Amazon, any website out there right now. You can find the same exact jewelry as what they're selling. It's no different, really. They have a few pieces that seem to be a bit more, not even exclusive really, but maybe a little bit harder to find. But those are few and far between. Mostly, it is just cheap, really cheap jewelry. All right. So that's what they do. That's all they do. All right. So let's go through and talk about the behaviors, because that's what we do here. We talk about behavior. We talk about toxic behavior in particular. So red flags. Of course, when people are trying to recruit new members or customers, mostly members though, they really want to recruit people in there, okay? There's love bombing. Straight off the bat, hold on, let me mark this off because I have so many notes, I have to keep track. Okay. And there's a lot of the usual, oh, this is a great offer. This is, you are going to make so much money. Shamir got that before I did. Okay. This, once in a lifetime opportunity, all this and that. Here's the problem. If you don't get in on an MLM at the beginning of the MLM and create a huge downline under you, you're not going to make money. So there is some terminology we have to go over. Downline, upline. Your upline are the people above you. Your downline is the people below you. Those are the people you recruit. There's so much language. In the links, the first actual video is Going for Broke with Paparazzi Jewelry by Monica Hayworth. That's a really good video at breaking down how you make money in the group. There are two ways you make money: from selling the jewelry, and then also from recruiting people and getting them in your downline. What they buy from the company and also sell, right, you get a percentage. So you get a commission check from that. That's really where you make your money. You're not actually really going to make money from selling the jewelry. You have to recruit and get people in your downline if you actually want to make money. Which then, if your market becomes saturated, you're not going to be able to recruit any more people. And when people start quitting, that money's going to evaporate. It's not a sustainable business. Let's just put it that way. All right. I don't know how many videos I watched. I didn't just watch anti-MLM videos. I also watched a bunch of their training courses and videos and tried to watch how they did things, how they spoke, how they treated people themselves, not just the people who were coming out against Paparazzi and or the consultants, okay? So I was trying to be fair with my research. But here's what I found. I saw a ridiculous amount of group speak, group think, which is all on the bite model. There was word salad. Okay, so they have their own terminologies for things, the way they say things, their own language, right? So if you're from outside of the group, it may be difficult. So there's a lot of that. If you're not in Paparazzi, you're not going to make that money. And all the people outside of Paparazzi, they just don't know. All right. So, and they're the enemy. They're bad. They're bad, bad, bad. Lots of othering. Hard pushing for consultants to recruit and also buy product, because how do they make their money? Through recruiting and buying the product from the company. All right. So if you sell it, doesn't even really matter. They're not even concerned with product being sold to an end consumer, right? They're concerned with it being bought from the company and also new recruits, which should be a huge red flag. Okay, let me mark these off. Pushing people to raise up ranks. Now, in order to raise up in ranks, you have to recruit. You have to recruit, and you have to... Product has to be bought from the company, and you have to recruit to rise up in ranks. Now we get into something really important. Toxic positivity is rampant in this group. Toxic positivity culture. But it goes deeper than that. It goes deeper. So I have to preface this with, I am not a Christian, and I'm not trying to bash Christianity at all. I'm just an outside observer looking in. It appears that over time they started to use Christianity and what is called prosperity culture to utilize that as a weapon against consultants. So nothing that happens in your life is more important than remaining positive. And also, the harder you pray, the more blessed you will be. If you're ill, if you're sick, if you have a heart attack, if you have any kind of health issue, you just didn't pray hard enough. And there are receipts of consultants saying that. I have to take this thing off. Okay. Ow. So, all right. So, put a pin in that, because we are going to come back to that. That has definite effects on certain consultants in this group. Let me put another star by that. All right. Guilt trips. Massive amounts of guilt trips I've seen. So you're not buying enough. You're not buying enough. We need more downline. We need to get more people in the group chats. And there are like a multitude of group chats. All right. So, it isn't going to be just one group. It isn't going to be just 5. It's going to be just who knows how many group chats and live streams that you might have to go to. So therefore, it's all consuming of consultants' time. Basically, there's no life outside of the MLM work, including your children and your family. Okay, and you should be willing to sacrifice that. Okay, if you have like a young child, I mean, you gotta work. You gotta try to make more money so that you can buy more from the company, and also try to get more recruits so you make the company and your upline more money, even if you are exhausted and you can barely function and you're having all kinds of health issues. Doesn't matter. Pray harder. Work harder. Stay positive. Okay. So they're all best friends as long as they are making money off of their up or down lines, right? I mean, wherever I am, the people below me need to be making me money. And we're great friends as long as that is happening. Because once that stops happening, then you have shunning. You'll be shunned. If a person is canceled, which is fired, see, this is what I mean by the language. If a person is canceled or leaves, they are blocked by most of their friends. They're not making them money anymore. This company basically encourages and pushes for and trains you to be. It's as if you have narcissistic tendencies. You're just all about that money, Lebowski. Nothing else matters. Even friendships. Okay, so this also goes into people who are not in the group, who do not agree with it. There have been many, from what I saw, all right, there were many people who would make, say, I've known that person for years and years, and I barely recognize them. They don't act the same, they don't talk the same, or dress, like they have completely changed their entire personality. They were a really good person, but now I think they'd walk over me if I was dead, kind of thing. All right? That's pretty telling, and that's not healthy, actually. People do change over time, but usually not to this point and to these extremes. Okay, so now we get to a convention. They have conventions several times a year, different events that they host. At this convention, they assured everyone that they would be following the CDC guidelines, everything else, to keep everyone safe because the plague. They did not. They did none of that. There wasn't even an attempt at keeping things safe. So a bunch of people contracted the plague, and either they or family members and loved ones and who knows who all caught the plague and were unalived. The company didn't acknowledge any of the deaths or illnesses, not the founders, not the company itself, nothing. And they were actually instructed to not talk about it. The company itself scrubbed them off their website. It was like they didn't even exist. All right. That's pretty horrible. I think that's a pretty big deal that they would do such a thing. But I'm not surprised. I already talked about that. Okay. Now, for people who leave this group, they're shunned. And what usually happens in a toxic culture or relationship or situation? Hey, Gretchen, how you doing? When you leave that situation, what usually happens? Smear campaigns, accusations of all kinds, bullying, lots of that going around too, projection. So the current people who are in this group will look at the people who have left and are now the other, and will project off onto the people who have left the very things they are doing. So in the links section, let's see, we got Savannah Marie. She has a link about this super spreader event. That's actually really good. And then from Crack the Crown, which is Teresa and Feisty, love them. If you're interested in this subject, check out their channel. I laughed so hard my side hurt quite a few times. I highly recommend their website. I probably watched every episode on there. And then Roberta Blevins. Why isn't that up higher? I tried to put this out in order, but I guess I messed up. So Life After MLM, the bite model, is another really good one. So check out these videos if you're bored and you need something to do. They're really good. All right, so just a brief synopsis of the things that I have seen described from people who worked for Paparazzi. Here's the thing, they're independent contractors, so they don't actually work for Paparazzi. Paparazzi is their distributor. Paparazzi acts like everyone owes them something, when in fact, if you're an independent contractor, you don't actually owe them anything. So some of the things that I have seen described: ableism, discrimination, lots of discrimination against I'll get into that in a minute. Let's see. Discrimination against people for chronic illness, vision impairment, hard of hearing, postpartum depression, trigger warning, discrimination because someone had a miscarriage or lost a child or loved one in general. Lots of classism. Classism seems to be a rampant thing. Give me 1 second, y'all. I'll be right back. Wait, wrong thing. Hold on. Unmute. Thank you. Okay, so there's lots of discrimination going on in this group, and it's rampant. There is a astounding amount of abuse going on in this group. You could not pay me enough to work in this. No. Okay. So if you're in this MLM, I feel bad for you. If you're in it right now, my heart goes out to you, because this is extremely toxic. Good Lord. All right. So one of the things that this group does is it threatens being canceled or fired at a whim for nothing. Okay, just like over nothing. And the group plays favorites. So if you're not a favorite of the actual owners, the founders, as they call them, which sounds really, doesn't that sound creepy? The founders? That sounds really creepy to me. But if you're not a favorite of the founders, then chances are you're going to have problems. All right, you're going to potentially be canceled. And also, if you start rising up in ranks, okay, if you start being successful in rising up in ranks and making money, etc., then you have a target on you. And I think it was both Tracy and Feisty Geraldine. I think they both said that people will purposefully target you, and they will turn you in for anything and everything, for things that other people are doing but not being canceled over. So if they don't like you, if you don't follow their particular brand of Christianity, if you don't wear the right thing, like they try to control every aspect of your life. Bite model, what you wear, how you do your hair, how you speak. If you sell Girl Scout cookies on your personal Facebook page for your child, then you might be canceled. Girl Scout cookies. One person reported they were selling their house. I have a question. How does a house or Girl Scout cookies or t-shirts or whatever, how does that in any way, shape, or form compete with costume jewelry? Can someone please answer me that? Because I've been sitting on this, like, I'm stunned. A bitch is stunned, okay? Can somebody explain this to me? I don't understand. So, they want to control every aspect of your, like, how you sell your product online, but then also it's not just if you're live streaming and selling, it's also on your personal private social media. It's just everything, okay? So the double standards in counseling, yep, got that. I wrote down Girl Scout cookies. Canceled for commenting on an anti-MLM video, even if you are telling the person, if you're like, oh, my MLM is great, it's awesome, it's wonderful, you could still be canceled. Like, you're defending Paparazzi, but what? I don't understand. Okay, so apparently their Better Business Bureau rating is extremely low. One person said it was an F. I have not verified that for myself yet. I just want to stipulate that. That I'm going to cover that later. I'm not doing that right now because that's going to be hard. So I really want to talk about two things that are really important that we need to talk about. If you have any paparazzi jewelry, you might want to think about getting rid of it. Don't throw it away in the garbage, though. So one of these videos that I have in the links, So there were problems with the jewelry. People were having bad skin reactions to wearing the jewelry. And people have sent the jewelry off. I think it was Geraldine Feisty on Crack the Crown. If I'm not mistaken, she like paid to send that off and have it tested. It was tested, and some of the pieces of trashy costume jewelry was found to have high levels of, hold on, I have it written down. Okay. High levels of lead, cadmium, arsenic, antimony, nickel, and they're actually going to have it tested for mercury and a bunch of other things. And there are some other toxins that I can't even pronounce. I don't even know what they are. So some of these toxins will leach out of the pieces potentially, right? So if you wear it after a while, the material is going to rub off and you may become more exposed to some of these toxins, and they can leach into your living environment. So the house around you, they can get into your air ducts. They can come off on your fingers, on your hands, on your skin. And then if you're holding your child, and if you're pregnant, so I think that this jewelry is not safe. And here's part of the problem. This company was saying that they were nickel and lead free. That was found to be not true. So they changed on their website and they went to nickel and lead compliant. That was also found to be not true. So now they don't have anything about that on their website, apparently. By the way, everything I'm saying is apparently, allegedly, in my opinion. There are tons of receipts, but whatever. Okay. So now I'm going to talk about some things that happened in regards to discrimination, and it's pretty hard. But I'm thinking that maybe we can take like an interlude if y'all want to talk for a minute, because the next bit's going to be hard. I'm going to try not to rage out. Yes, thank you, Shermir. I'm so sorry that I didn't know that you were busy tonight. Remember, hydrate, take deep breaths, but most importantly, calm the fuck down. All right. Alrighty. This next bit, I actually had to like rage clean. So it made me so angry. All right. Can I get through this without losing my temper? That is the question. All right, let me look at my notes right quick because I have so many. I wrote down smear campaigns twice because there were so many. Yay. All right, got that and that. Oh my God, I have so many notes. Okay. All right. So, there was a convention, and there was a woman who needed the use of a walker to get around. And when she went into the auditorium for one of their gatherings. And she sat down. The private security that the company had hired was instructed to take everyone's walking devices away. So they did. Now, as someone who worked in private security, I am beyond angry over this because, according to the Americans with Disabilities Act, you're not supposed to take people's walking devices and whatnot away. And this woman was, with her chronic illness, I'm not going to go into what it is. It's not my business or place to say that. I to favor Pippi, no jewelry. Well, right on. Okay, so she's in this auditorium and she had to use the facilities to relieve herself, but her walker had been taken away and no one there would help her get to the restroom. She ended up falling on the floor pretty hard and hurt herself and soiled herself because her chronic illness is serious. And no one tried to help her. No one thought, hey, let's get up and aid this person who is in distress. They did not help her. So she's in an auditorium full of people. All of this is happening. Of course, she's emotional and crying. It took her somewhere around, if I remember correctly, I think it was over 45 minutes to get help and get her walking device. Okay. But wait, there's more. That is not all. Another person, a husband of a consultant, had a scooter, motorized scooter for mobility. He's disabled. And they were at on a cruise. And he was denied the use of his scooter while leaving the ship for an excursion. And this is actually how Tracy from Crack the Crown, like, I think it was the first time she was canceled or fired. Fired is what it is. Canceled isn't actually a term. So that's how she was first fired, was over this thing right here, because she stood up for the gentleman and was trying to help for him to have a mobility device on shore. But according to the positivity culture of this group of assholes, she's not supposed to stand up for someone who is being discriminated against. Astounding. Okay. So this man is humiliated. There's this big, huge scene in front of everyone. He's just sitting there. Then there were other experiences of people who are hard of hearing or vision impaired, who were just treated like trash simply because they have disabilities. It's just the way they are. There's nothing wrong with them. And instead of helping them and just being human to people, instead, they treat them even worse. And then this other story is the one that can potentially really tick me off. So I kind of have to watch my ass here. A woman who went to another convention was in a car accident prior to the convention. and she had injuries from that car accident. And her experience at that convention was a long string of holy hell, you have got to be kidding me. I'm going to say something, and I hope everyone hears me. Do not ever walk up behind someone in a wheelchair, grab their wheelchair, and push them around without their permission. And knock them into other people. And just treat them like they are a hindrance and a burden to the people around them. So much of the behavior that I have seen or heard of, and there are receipts, there are videos, there's all kinds of information out there about these things. This is some of the bottom of the barrel, absolutely disgusting behavior. It is astounding to me. There were situations where people were told, well, if you pray hard enough, your mom won't unalive from the plague. If you pray hard enough. You're in the hospital too. Well, I guess, you better pray hard for both of you. It's pretty horrifying. Pretty fucking horrifying. Please note there might be cussing. Because there is absolutely no reason for people to be treated this way. There's no reason for a woman to be left on the floor of an auditorium when she is in obvious distress. You have private security there. Why wasn't the private security there helping her? Why didn't the other people who are holy roller Christians help her? Why didn't someone help her? I am astounded. I don't understand how anyone can be part of this group. Another woman had postpartum depression. It was pretty serious. And she was told that, well, you just get over it. You just get over it. What is the actual group doing this? This is Paparazzi. Paparazzi. It's an MLM. They sell cheap-ass jewelry, and they are humiliating people over cheap-ass fucking jewelry that isn't even worth anything. Like, a few cents. You can get the same jewelry they're selling in lots, like a lot of 20 or however much, on Amazon, Wish, Shen. It's all over the place. This is not special stuff. And this pathetic jewelry is worth more than a woman who is in obvious distress in an auditorium? Not yet, but this rabbit hole is leading me down other rabbit holes that I'm just like, Jesus Christ, you've got to be kidding me. What? I am shocked. I've been in like a state of shock since I found out about certain other things as well, that it gets worse. It gets worse. So they have fundraisers for charities. They have a charity for an orphanage. I'm not going to say where it is. We know I have rules when it comes to children. Okay. If you donate to their fundraiser for the charity, though, you can't write it off on your taxes. And they gather quite a bit of money for these fundraisers for this orphanage. So that orphanage should be well funded, right? I'm wondering if it is, though, because you can't write it off on your taxes. What? When did that start being a thing? It gets worse. Apparently, the orphanage was complaining that they were going to have to kick some of the children out because they weren't receiving enough funding. Then also, trigger warning, the founders at a function that they hosted, the one founder in particular, apparently, allegedly, without any warning to anyone who was in the room, brought several trafficking survivors out onto the stage with couches and all this and that to talk with them about a fundraiser they were doing for this group. And when they started talking about their experiences, people started running out of the auditorium because they didn't have any warning. They didn't know what was coming. How many of those people in that audience are survivors and couldn't deal, so they ran out, right? No warning, no trigger warning, no nothing. You're supposed to keep it positive all the time, right? Toxic positivity. You're supposed to be on board with everything that the founders do. You're just, yes, ma'am, right? So I wonder how many of those people who ran out were written down on a list. Are they still working there? I'm just curious. All because that founder couldn't do a proper trigger warning to warn people what was coming. Okay. There's way more. I haven't even begun to scratch the surface. That's why I'm saying this is probably going to be a multi-parter. I'm kind of stunned. And I really recommend the videos with the links that I have up. Because they're really good and they're funny. And, you know, Tracy with her tiny hands and all of that. I love their videos. Highly recommend. Savannah Marie, love her. The Roberta Blevins with the bite model. That's a really good video, just in general. I am worried for my friend whose significant other is in this group, because it seems like after a period of time of being in this group and being kind of programmed to the way their group think goes, you lose your humanity. And the abuse that I have seen described, I have seen people display PTSD triggers from talking about their experiences in this group. There is trauma for these people. And I think a lot of the trauma begins with the fear of being canceled. But it goes deeper than that. That the fear of being canceled for these people is so strong because many of these people quit their regular jobs. This is their only source of income or their main source of income. It's also, they're enmeshed with their social, so you got financial, their social circle, any future hopes or dreams or goals that they want to meet. Just so many aspects of their lives become wrapped up into this group. And that is when you have a high likelihood of abuse happening. And when you can't even talk about selling Girl Scout cookies, or selling your house or a car, well, that's problematic. Now, here's part of the problem also. They're not just canceling people who are lower on the downlines. They're canceling people who are high up and are making a ton of money because they have that large downline. And with Feisty with Geraldine, she's a businesswoman. Okay, wherever she goes, she's going to be making money. But she also has her own mind, and she would tell them how she felt, what her opinion was of things. And of course, they're not going to like that. They want everyone to conform to their way of thinking and doing and being. Okay, so if she's not going to bend the knee, then of course they're going to need her out of there. The higher ups in this business are extraordinarily toxic. Anyone who has gotten out is lucky. Even if it is traumatic and it is stressful, they are lucky. I cannot recommend Crack the Crown enough. Tracy and Geraldine are doing some really good work trying to be supportive of people who get out of this cult. I don't say this lightly. When I look at the bite model and the influence continuum, and there are other models as well to look at. It's not just the bite model and the influence continuum. There are others. I compared and contrasted as much as I could. And the use of prosperity culture and all of that is extremely weaponized against the people in this group, to the point that Tracy and her daughter Caroline were at an event at a concert, and someone came up behind Caroline, who is a minor, grabbed her ponytail and pulled her down to the ground by her hair. A minor child. Let me say this again. A minor child was grabbed by the hair and ripped down to the ground. And the other people there basically went off on Tracy for defending her minor child. Like Tracy was doing something wrong. Look, that right there is highly toxic. And one person who was involved in going off on Tracy is the brother-in-law of the owner. So he's way high up there. This is the standard of this culture. It is highly abusive, even to minor children, disabled people, anyone who doesn't bend a knee. If you have your own mind, your own brain, your own thoughts, opinions, you speak your mind freely, you are not going to last in there. So therefore, you have to change everything about yourself if you want to stay in and try to make that money. Hey, Wanda, how you doing? I've really missed y'all, by the way. And I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to not be doing this research anymore because, oh my God. So this is going to be a multi-part stream. This is basically an introduction to me talking about this. Because so here's the thing. And I hope that the person I am doing this for sees this stream. And I hope their significant other sees this stream. It actually makes me nauseous to think of this. These are really good, kind-hearted people. That's why I dove deep on this, and I was concerned. my friend's significant other has changed just drastically. I recently saw pictures of this person and I barely even recognized them. Not in a good way. What is more valuable and important? Your life, your family, and your mental and spiritual well-being, or money? Pick one. I hesitated to do this because I don't want to cause problems for these people, but my friend is at their wit's end. So I think it might be a good idea to really listen to what I'm saying, but you don't have to just listen to me. You can go to all these links, and I have more if you want. If you want more, I have so many videos. You don't have to listen to me. You can watch these videos and just listen. Don't get angry. Take your emotion out of the situation and just listen to people who have been consultants in this group and have experienced it for themselves and what they experienced, what they saw. You don't have to listen to me. Apparently, I'm a hater. And my friend is apparently a hater as well. They're not. My friend very much loves this person. We are concerned. I'm not doing this out of anger or hatred or anything. I'm doing this out of concern. I've known this person for around 20 years. So, the Roberta Blevins video is very calm. It's might even be the best video to start with. I think that should have been at the top, really. There's nothing wrong with you. Okay, there's nothing wrong with you. You don't have to be part of this if you don't want to. You can leave at any time. And there are people out there who will buy the inventory that you have off of you and take some of the stress off of you. If you want to start a business, there are groups that have, Crack the Crown has a group that will help you find wholesalers and all of that. I will help you in any way I can. You don't have to stay in paparazzi. It's not good. And you have changed to the point that I don't even recognize you in a photo. And I've known you for over 20 years. To the point that your voice sounds different. So in groups like this, how they influence you is, it can be very subtle at first, right? Like I talk about all the time in toxic situations and relationships, they don't always start off horrible and toxic. They start off with the love bombing and the data mining and the ingratiating themselves with you, and that they're charming and they give you all kinds of future promises and, oh, everything's going to be all roses and sunshine. And then the reality starts hitting. Alrighty. I need a break from thinking about that. I'm going to come over to the chat and talk with y'all. Nope, it was not it was paparazzi. It's just all paparazzi, and there's more. That I have way more notes. That was the short, condensed version. I missed y'all too. We've had a lot going on here. I'm trying to get things done here for a possible work thing. There's a lot of hoops to jump through, so much, and starting a new project. But because this research is over, I'm starting the project, which is just positive, real positive. It's awesome, and I cannot wait. How is everyone doing? What's going on? Oh, God. I hope everybody's doing good. Ooh, look, flowers and hearts. Yay. I don't even know who else is still here. I've been gone so long, though. It's nice to be back streaming again. It is so good. I'm going to collapse that because, haha, I don't need those anymore. I have no idea what's been going on the YouTubes either. Does anyone, what's been going on? Everything's been really quiet everywhere, like the past week. Okay. With all that's going on YouTube right now, it was a good time for a break. I don't even know what's going on YouTube right now. What's going on? I got nothing. I just know, please don't wear paparazzi jewelry. It is so toxic. I'm so worried for everyone out there right now. Oh my God, there are toxins in that stuff that I'm like, I've never even heard of that stuff before. What is that? It got me wondering if I had any of those stuff here, like, scary. Somebody's gonna have to, I guess, clue me in on what's going on. Ah, okay, that was in the wrong place. It's been rough. Hubby's dementia. Oh. Wow, I'm so sorry to hear that, Wanda. Really sorry to hear that. Dementia is horrible. Nickel is in a lot of jewelry. Many have allergies to it. Yeah, but part of the problem is that they said at first they said they were nickel and lead. I think it was nickel and lead free. And then they said compliant. And now there's nothing about it on their website. So that's the problem. They're not actually like making a public statement, or they don't hold themselves accountable at all. They just try to act like nothing happened. So what is that? That's rug sweeping. Sweep it under the rug. Sweep it under the rug. It didn't happen. Nothing to see here, folks. I'm so sorry to hear that, Wanda. I had a family member who went through that, and it's hard. And Idun, Kitty Girl, says, "Come, let me sing you the song of my people." I was kind of hoping Josh would show up, but I need to get back on a regular schedule is what I need to do. So Tomorrow I will be talking more about this, but there are some aspects of abuse that I've seen and heard, and receipts, like actual receipts, video, recorded messages, just all kind of stuff. So it's like watching your light of life just dim. Yes. Yep. Yes, it is. Especially when it's somebody that is really intelligent, really, really sharp, really on it. And then suddenly they can't remember where you live, or like over time. It's hard. I'm sorry y'all are going through that. So yeah, this has been really intense to research and to learn more about, but I had no idea. Like, I don't even understand how this kind of business is even legal. Like, I don't understand how they can get away with the things they're doing. Yep. Yeah, I don't know, man. Only have so much time. All right, so y'all want to talk about food? So Marcus and I got a blender, and we have been making Boston coolers at home, actually. Wow. That's got to be even harder when he realizes what is happening. I mean, if I could give you hugs right now, Wanda, I would. I'm sending you virtual hugs. Cornbread. Oh. Man, that sounds good. At some point, we have to get I don't have like a bread pan or even like a muffin pan, so I can't make cornbread, and it's killing me. Like, I miss cornbread so much. At some point, I want to make some beer bread. I want to make some cornbread, all that good stuff. Going out to... Wait, what? I'm going out to... I don't know what that... I don't know what Granddaddy Purple is. I'm sorry. I'm not sure what that means. Yeah, we just have to get by there. Well, I don't know why, but for no apparent reason, I have been craving red beans and rice and cornbread. Just because. Oh, right. Okay. See, I don't know all that language. So I do know it helps me sleep, though. So, I'll have to share my cornbread recipe in the room. Yes, you will. Because cornbread is manna from the gods. Get the good muffin liners there, too. Oh, right on. Right on. Yeah, we lost all our pots and pans, all that stuff. So, yeah. I was thinking also of going to because I used to have a selection of teacups and teapots. I love teacups and teapots. They are so cute. So I'm thinking of going to thrift stores and just, grabbing up a random collection of pretty. videos. Oh my God, Marcus made pulled pork the other day. I'm still eating on it. It is so good. Seasoned to perfection. Just all of the yummies. It's not even right. He needs to do like a pop-up kitchen or something. I'm telling you, this stuff was so good. Yeah, he outdid himself. Actually, he made some TikTok videos of like the process of making it, and oh man, it's too bad he couldn't share the smell because it was really good. And then what did we make? We made something. We've been making Boston coolers almost every night. Because that's just burners and vanilla ice cream. So, but it's still yummy. So yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of curious what in the hell has been going on YouTube. And then again, I'm like, do I really want to know? Do I really need to know what's going on? Sharemare, I have a feeling that you would really enjoy Crack the Crown with Tracy and Geraldine. They're, oh my God. One of the episodes, they had me laughing so hard that my side hurt. Like, it was ridiculously funny. I don't, what? So mentioning it will bring it. Really? But, I mean, if it's, I'm so confused. If it's commentary on a social media platform, aren't you supposed to be able to comment on commentary? I'm so confused. I don't understand. So is this more of that childish, toxic, weird-ass behavior shit? A lot of doxing going on. Oh, well, wow. It sounds like somebody is feeling backed in a corner and scared, maybe, because a lot of the time it seems like people do that doxing stuff when they have nothing better to say or do. Oh, that is not right. EKC did a translator video because he attacked her, so they got back by releasing her real-life phone number. That's fucking... Man, that's kind of karma in a way-ish, but not really. That's not right. I don't like EKC at all, but it's not right to dox people. That shit's fucked up. That's... I don't understand. I mean, if I were to... It isn't even really doxing, but if I had that much of a problem with someone, I would just go to the police or the FBI. Not a fan of her, but that is... Yeah, it is. It is. It doesn't... Like, how I feel personally about someone does not mean that it's okay to dox them. Like, that's... Jesus. Accusing people's husbands of abuse? Oh my God. Do they have receipts? Do they have proof? Because if they don't, shush. His new attacks on Julie Virgo. What? That's a thing? I don't... What? Why? And everyone. What the fuck is going on? Have people lost their damn minds? Like, I was researching what in the hell happened. How did it get worse? Oh my God. Man, thank God this coffee's good because I'm just. He makes it up and passes it on as fact. Well, that would be defamation. That would be defamation right there. And defamation is hard to win in court, but if you have enough evidence showing a pattern of behavior that is tangible, right? So receipts like that you can print out and give to a judge, you can in fact win a defamation case. It's not easy, and it's expensive. Hit the rabbit hole later. I'm scared. I hear you, Edun. Edun's mad because I won't let her in the room. I had to put a chair in front of the door so that Edun could not get in the room. Well, I mean, I think there was a paper about trolls getting endorphin rushes and serotonin drops from doing the trolling that they do, right? So I wonder if maybe for some people doxing has that same effect, if that makes sense. I'm just kind of just questioning out loud. I'm not accusing anyone of anything. Whoa, that is a bold claim. Wait, what? Did he really say that about EKC? Holy shit, dude. What? Okay, dude. Okay, I mean, right on. I'll check that out in a minute. God. I mean, if he's doing this for clout, we see how well that worked out for certain other people who ended up being deplatformed. I'm just saying it actually didn't work out well. If you come into a situation, if you come into a community that is predominantly comprised of women, and you start treating women like shit, then people are going to come back on you. And if you were being rude to people, then it just kind of goes to just logic that people are not going to be happy about that. So if you don't like having people unhappy about that, shut the fuck up and leave them alone. Just stop. It's like, certain other people, they come in, they start shit, and then they can't handle it when that shit is thrown back at them. Well, don't start this shit. Or apologize and stop. I mean, ugh. I don't know. I'll look at it, but I seriously doubt that I will talk about this all that much on my channel because y'all know how I feel about doxing. I don't like EKC, but doxing her is fucked up. I don't like him either. He's a scumbag. And what the hell? How did they even get into a thing against each other? What in the fuck is even happening? Like, what? I don't understand what is happening here. Yeah, I actually want my content to be helpful to people and have maturity level. Like, I don't know. I can't. I just can't. Well, see, that kind of behavior potentially indicates like obsessive behavior that is not good. Therapy can help with, certain things. Wow. That is, why? I don't, why does he care? I don't give a shit. Sharemare, I do not care where you go. Now, if somebody treats you badly and I find out, look, I will be ticked off. But I don't care where you go or who you're commenting on their chats or whatever. I'm not your mama. Why does he even care? What? I don't understand. Who is Sheila? Sheila? I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Who is this person? What? Well, with certain, what do certain types of people like to do? They like to control. They like to try to maintain that control as much as they can. And if they can't, they do what? What do? They rage out, they smear campaign, they attack, and what do they also do? Darvo. Deny and or deflect, attack, reverse victim and offender. Right, okay. It's been a minute. It has been a minute. Well, everyone's welcome here except for assholes. I don't care if people comment in my comment section or, in a live chat, as long as everyone is polite and follows the rules of my chat and my stream. Man, that just... EKC is going to have to change your phone number and all kind of other shit now. This is why doxing is bad. Always. Doesn't matter if you don't like the person, because eventually someone's not going to like you. And you've set a precedent. Just stop. It's really, really easy to just stop. I don't know. I mean, the only way I don't know if it's considered doxing, but the emails I was getting, yeah, I took those to the police. I was like, gave them to the police. I don't know if that's considered doxing, but I think there's just nothing good that will come from that. I don't know. It's all really, really childish. It shows a lack of maturity, growth, thought. I don't know. Hey, lovely symbols, how you doing? What's up? Where you at? Yeah, I've been trying to reorganize the house. I've been researching the topic of today, which will probably be the topic for the next few streams because there's a lot. There's way more. And I want to get into some of the particular abuse tactics that I've seen used. Man, I feel really bad for anyone who's in this MLM. Really bad for the people who are in there now. So it's good to see you all. I have missed you guys. I have been some of the stuff that I'm preparing for this possible job, it is a lot to absorb. So while I'm reading stuff, I've been listening to videos for research, and it's been a lot. MLM. Yeah, the topic tonight was paparazzi, which is an MLM business. It's really a pyramid scheme, is what it really is. And it's extremely toxic. On this stream, I only marginally scratched the surface. There is way more. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. I just hope that this business seems to be going down like the Titanic, so more than ever. Oh, okay. I'll see if I can do a stream tomorrow. Hold on. What even day is it? Ish. Wednesday. Okay. I'll see if I can stream tomorrow, and we'll just chat, and we can just have a safe space for everyone to talk. All right? If that sounds good. Because it sounds like y'all need it, because I've just been trying to reorganize clothing and learn law in Michigan and shit. Like, I've had it easy over here, all right? No pressure, right? I mean, people being doxxed right and left? Interesting. Food and wine chat. I mean, I'm just saying. Food, wine, and whatever. That sounds like a plan. It sounds like y'all need it. Jesus, all right. So if you have someone who has a business it is gonna propel you into like the stratosphere of wealth, look at the group, look at the bite model, look at the influencer continuum. Hold on. I always say that wrong every single time. Influence continuum. And just think about it. Compare and contrast. All right. Before you join, you should not have to spend money on a business to get a job. Anything that entails that you spend money and buy a kit of $200 and some odd to then therefore work is not a real business. You are being scammed. Yeah, I don't want to jinx it, but there's a lot for me to learn. Because Louisiana is different. I'm in a different state is what's happening. Right? I don't understand the fixation with doxing. It's evil. I don't agree with it at all. It's potentially life-threatening. And God forbid if you have a stalker out there and you don't even know, as can happen. Jesus Christ, people. That's a fucking reason, man. At what cost? What is the cost of doing this? I keep saying this. So if you're doxing someone, then eventually someone is probably going to dox you. What goes around comes around, right? It would be really great if people would stop doing this shit and just, act like you have a brain. I would say, were you raised by wolves? But I think wolves are more polite than that. So here soon, I'm probably going to move the furniture around a little bit more, so things might look different. Because I'm trying to get things where my OCD is happy, just so everyone knows. God. Well, I mean, we've seen that before, though. You know, one goes away, another one pops up. I don't know. Me, I will be sitting back, not doing any of that shit. Like, nope. No, indeed, because there are these things called cyber stalking laws, and you just go to FBI.gov, and you can report when somebody has doxed your phone number. Yep, true story, especially if you have proof, if you have receipts, or your local police department, their police department. Putting someone's life in danger over some silly, dumbass YouTube bullshit. It makes all the sense. Just fuck people. It doesn't it kind of seem that way though? But those people who do that, I mean, their shelf life is short, really, when you think about it. It's ridiculous. And you're potentially putting someone's life on the line over some stupid shit. And you're making yourself out to be a huge jackass to the entire world. Great job. That's awesome. Man, this coffee's good. I don't know, y'all. But you will never see me doing that kind of shit here. Hell, I don't even share screenshots. Unless it's with police. Kindness costs nothing. Yeah. Empathy and critical thought costs nothing also. Just fucking hell, people. I just don't get it. I don't know, man. In my opinion, society is hurting bad, and we are seeing a breakdown mirrored on YouTube. People are angry, anxious, and on a hair trigger. They don't even understand what's happening to their lives thanks to the 1%. That is, I'm just going to leave that there for a little while. That's true. Yeah. It is. It's like people are losing their damn minds all over the place. Wow, dude. Just wow. Oh, boy. Yeah, I'm directly in the middle of deciding if I want to work back in the field again. So that's what's happening. And Louisiana is different from Michigan. Louisiana still has some Napoleonic law, and there are slight differences, and it's a different, not a different field. It's just, I don't know how much I can say. It's more along the lines of higher up than I was, if that makes sense. So, I don't know. I don't know if I want to do that. Oh, really? I will have to check that out. Oh, shit. Not another creep show video. God damn it, I thought I was done and I got sucked back in. I try, I try to be like a calm place where y'all can hang and like maybe we can talk about something hopefully that you'll find interesting without all the ish. When did COVID start again? When did it stop? Oh, I said the word shit. Oh well. Yeah. Well, I mean, think about it. Isolation is really bad for humans, right? So this whole plague thing is going to have a mental toll on everyone. Yeah. I mean, that whole thing was a good tool for me to talk with people about stalking and different aspects of stalking. But damn, dude, like she needs to get into treatment. Like for real. All right, y'all, that pulled pork is calling my name. I'm gonna go make me a bowl with some of the sauce. Oh my god, it's so good. And I will see about being on here tomorrow at the same time, 6 o'clock Eastern time. Shermer, is that Eastern time? Yeah, that's true. YouTube, I mean, it seems to depend on what community you're involved in. Really, I've seen a couple communities here lately that are actually rather supportive. So they are out there, but man, they're few and far between. So thank you to everyone who stopped by. I appreciate all of you. I missed all of you. I'm going to try to be back on a more, how I usually do with the schedule. I'm going to try to be back on a regular schedule. So yeah, tomorrow might be, what was it? Food, wine, and chat. Was that it? I don't remember. I forgot. You too, Teresa. And thank you to Shermer for modding when you were busy. I appreciate you. Thank you. All right, y'all. I will see you hopefully tomorrow. Bye.